You see me on the wanted posters, that's who I am. I've travelled from the UK all the way to Amsterdam. The sheriffs and the Rozzers, they're all after me. Because I camp out at night and sleep all day for free. Good morning, welcome to the Jeepers Tubes camping channel. This week, we had a stealth camp that went a bit awry Friday night, so that's out of the question this week. So, Richard Sunderland, you posed a question: am I going to be reviewing any stoves? Well, I will if somebody sends me a free one. But just for you, matey, we're going to do something a little special this week. We're going to make our own stove. So stay tuned. Let's get on with it. So, our ingredients are, as said, stove, Dremel, a kit with certain bits in, and we're going to need something for the firewood to hold on, to be platformed on. So I'm going to cut up this little bad boy, hopefully, and that'll be just raised enough to provide us our firewood with with a decent level to achieve some heat. Right, let's get on. Right, so this is really tricky with a tripod, but let's give it a shot. We want, actually we've got a seam line there, haven't we? Actually, I'm going to give that, let's just forget about that. So I want that round about there. Right. Peel that back. And then I want to bring it across. Okay. Let's cut that off. Let's see where we are. That little rivet. And that rivet there. Tape there. Reasonable distance. Right, let's get on with the cutting. So, it is actually opening here. We're getting there, slowly. So we're actually 3 sides through now. So, we've got our base as such. I need to somehow disconnect this. Don't know why I blew that then. Alright. Yeah, well, that somehow needs to be affixed. I'm thinking, I'd already thought about this previously, just to put a couple of small bolts through here, maybe 1, 2 on the other side. That should bring those sides in solid. Actually have a double skin now. Ah, okay. We do actually have now a small tray for ashes, if we plan it right. Now, I wonder if, yes, now, if I did exactly what I said and drill one here, one there, maybe another one here and here to lock that in place, we now have our own drawer for ashes. A little bit of fiddling about, make sure it slides properly, but yeah, now that's just a fresh idea that's just come off the top of my head right there. Wow, the way these things work out, yeah. So, what we want now is to make this drawer into a small fire pit itself. So we'll take the tape off, Or maybe we'll keep the tape on, because it is actually keeping the drawer handle. What I'd like to do is just bend it over so it doesn't cut the fingers. Right here, that's extremely sharp, just like a razor blade. So I might do that off camera now. So I'm just going to come to the end part of that now. As you can see, I've been slightly bending it over. Need to bend it more. And close those very sharp edges up. Crimping. This is all on the fly. These thoughts are just coming to me. Not planned at all, as I said. This has just somehow worked out now with a drawer. I think it's a bloody ingenious idea. Even though it's not an idea. It's just one of those spare of the moment things. So yeah, we're going to a bit of history of what happened Friday. I got myself all excited about going to a place called Chasewater. Some of you, if you're in the West Midlands, would know that. Hoping to get you some footage of deer early in the morning. I tend to walk around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. That would have been extremely nice footage. So here we go. Let's get back to this. Yeah, that is all soft now. Got a bit of tape on there, which I'd already left. So that's nice. So, no danger of cutting my finger as I slide it out. Job's a good one. Yeah, so getting back to Friday. Yeah, Friday. So, got all my gear. Went up to my place of employment. I was allowed to park outside the front staff offices. Don't really need to know all that. But yeah, I was allowed to park there overnight. Somebody knew what I was going to be doing. Gave me permission. So I gets up there. Don't know why I thought about it, but I just thought I better pick up my phone. I was keeping it on silent because of my battery and everything. Wanted to keep as much power on me as possible. So, picks up the phone, 15 missed calls, couple of messages, all from my partner. So I clicks on it, phones her up, so what's the matter? She says, you brainless idiot. She says, you forgot your water. Now, bearing in mind this was 6:30 at night, the sun was absolutely blazing. She said, well, why don't you get yourself a bottle of water from a local supermarket? I said, well, I could, but the bottle I have has a handle, and I didn't have enough room in my backpack. It was completely full of stuff. I wouldn't have been able to get another bottle in. So I'd been there carrying a bottle. I explained, I can't film at the same time carrying a 2-litre bottle and my selfie stick and trying to figure out what's going on. Because the problem I had with Chasewater is there's wardens. I don't know what time they clock off, if they even do. They're obviously there to protect the wildlife, the deer. Obviously I was going to stay way out, not attract them. I was going to stay very stealthy and try just take some photos and videos of them in the morning without disturbing them. Just, you know, walk on by shots and stuff. So at least you could get an idea of what's going on around there with the wildlife. Yeah, so in the end, I came back home. I had second thoughts about going back out because it was reaching a late time. I mean, it would have been probably 7:30. There was obviously still light, but it was extremely hot, and I just lost all interest. And I don't normally lose interest. It just put me off for some reason. So that's why that video didn't happen. It will happen in the future. More than likely go in the next few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. The Tarp and Talk I did on a previous video, that place, I'll be doing exactly the same. I'll be going there 1 or 2 weeks. That was just a recon. But at Chase Water, I haven't done that. It's absolutely new to me. So Chase Water, I've been given a bit of information on areas where and not to, areas to avoid, say, because of the wardens, and because of youths coming around there on the night, you know, making fires, causing nuisance. Not a real issue to me, but I was going to try and get somewhere where I wouldn't be detected, mainly because of the deer. Yeah, so it didn't happen, but it will in the future, and we'll get you that footage, hopefully, by hook or by crook. Even if I have to go a second time without camping, and I'll film them. I'll get my poncho on, get me woodland balaclava on, bit more stealth, you know, in the bushes, pop my head up, take a few photos and filming. We'll see what we can do. So usually the can is usually stood up in this manner, with a smaller can at the bottom to put your twigs in and so on. I've normally seen that everywhere over YouTube, but I just thought I'd try to do something that was lengthwise, you know, because you slap a steak on there, 3 or 4 drumsticks or something, you know, you're going to get a lot more meat, a lot more cooking items on this. Maybe even boil some water while you're cooking something on the side. So, I mean, it won't last for long, I don't think. You know, it's only tin at the end of the day. Might only last one burn, but we learn by our mistakes, don't we? And, you know, this is just a small project. So, let's get back to the tray. What I could do with is doing virtually the same as I did there on the handle to pull out on here, because if it for some reason slips out, there's my fingers, plaster, and you know, let's avoid a few accidents. So let's start with a few crimps, and we'll come back to you when it's done. Ta-ra for a bit. So Richard, Mr. Sunderland, you did mention that he was having difficulty hearing when I was being filmed from a distance. So hopefully all that is eradicated now, as I have a Cheapest Chips mic, which is now, the receiver's installed on the phone, and I'm actually talking to you now. $7.99 on offer from $15.99. So you can't say cheaper than that, can you? Cheapest Chips. Also a shout out to Kevla, as he mentioned exactly the same thing. He was having a problem, difficulty hearing. So thanks to Kevla, who mentioned exactly the same thing as Mr. Sunderland. Got a problem with the with hearing the videos with the mic installed. Hopefully that's going to eradicate it. See you at work, Kevlar. So we've got all that edged up now. Black tape helps on the sharp edges. There's a couple of spots I've just found. Not bent over enough. Alright. So there we are. Hope you can see that on camera quite well. It's a bit shiny. Let's just turn it to the side there. Well, so let's keep concentrating on this drawer then. What I want to do is get this grill on top somehow. looks to me like it'd be a good place to start. So we're going to try that. We've got prongs here. Don't know if that will help us support inside. We'll see if they work out. I'm going to cut this section out here. So we've now got this piece disconnected from here and here, and also this one here and this one here. So one section disconnected. Let's go for the other side. So that pretty much fits like a glove there. If I'd have had a cleaner one, I could have actually used that as a meat stand. I could have probably put it inside, something like that, having all the meat on and so on. But it's absolutely rethemed. I couldn't cook food on that. So I'm going to put that inside the drawer. I believe that is okay there. Actually, saying that, doesn't want to. It's sitting in fully now. What I want to do, I think, is bend this down over here so we create a handle. Instead of having to pull this out for our ashes, I'm going to bend this down to here. Right, we'll be back. Right, so I had the issue where it kept on sliding back independently of the ashtray. So what I've done is created two slits, yeah, and here, on the back of this, with the last bar, let's turn the camera around, with the last bar now, is able to fit against the back of there, look, with those slits in. It's more stable, but what I'm going to have to do now is cut that main bar off there. I don't really want that on there. So this bar will be our last bar here. And there we go. There we go. So I'll try that just for size and effect. Now fits into the back. It's not quite as good. So, oh, it just clicked. It just literally clicked into place. That was nice. So it's actually made a handle on the front shorter. Not a big deal. There's a bar here. I could have done with an extra bar there. But I need it to slot into place. I don't want to have to keep building the thing, even though it might not last very long. So I have just cut just a small hole, a small slit there. Thumbs in the way. Small slit there, and it does slot into it. So I'm going to go a little deeper. So a bit of a hammer manipulation, and I've straightened up this handle now, so it's almost in line with the rest. our ashtray now. Fire burning stove. We can put some larger twigs up here where there's a larger gap. I think that'll do. So I'll just give you an example of that. Something like that, say, quite large. Yeah, so we'll see. So I've just popped the end of the can on, and now if you just imagine with that all screwed in, bit of stability, that should pop in and out. So that's where we are at the moment. We're going to do wonder. I should protect these. I think I'm going to have to bend them over again. That will be pulled in there. That will be pulled in there. Just leaves us this bit of flex. You can see the general shape of it becoming. Yeah. I mean, obviously, start us off with, I can load that with timber anyway. Bit of paracord over the sides to hold it all in. Have my timber supply, if there's none out there, where we're going to go and use it. So, looks like this might be a part 1 of 2 video. Sorry about the exposure. What I'm thinking, I need to raise it off the ground. For that, just a couple of small timbers, I think, just to give it some legs down the whole of the length. Drill and screw those on the bottom. Initially, when I thought of this idea, until I thought of the tray for the ash, I was going to use that as a lid, similar to your barrel barbecues. But that don't work, does it? Come on. That's not going to work on something like this. It's too thin. Popping around with hinges and stuff. It's just going to be a total waste of time. It's not going to last very long. I don't expect it to anyway. If it does, great. But yeah, we need a couple of wooden legs on it now. Need to screw in that end. We need to somehow tidy the edges up. So once I have placed that on, screwed it through there, I do need to sort these edges out. So what I might do is just get a small piece of wood just on the outside there, because the next plan is to have skewers going across. So I'm going to have to put a very small bead of timber around there and on the back, I think, with that there for support, just to stabilise it. And probably just bolt that on, a couple of bolts here and there, here and there, here and there, and once that's all stable, I suppose this metal then can be bent over the top of the wood, and then just to make certain cuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending, I can't remember how many skewers I've got, so whatever skewers I've got is what dictates what holes are going to, what half centres are going to be there to just put the skewer on. If you can catch my drift, just like that. Let's pull back the camera a bit. So say you've got a hole here, put your skewer on there, the hole would be adjacent to that, so you'd have 2. Now I'm just looking at this now, what could I do with that? It looks like some kind of handle, doesn't it? Ooh, imagine that, little rest for your food. Don't know if I could. No, don't know. With the timber in, I could drill a hole there and there. Wow, all these ideas that come to you, right? You could actually put a small piece of wood on there just to rest something on. Keep something warm, just on the side there. I might do that. I might just do that one little thing. So, safety glasses off. Not quite safety, but, you know, they provided me with a little protection. So I think that's going to come to the end of the video today. It's Father's Day. I've just spent an hour out here. Need to get back and do what we need to do. This is going to be a two-part video, I think, just to finish that off. I don't want to rush anything with it. I think if I put it all in one video, I won't be able to release it then. What I might find is I may come back tomorrow or a couple of days time and just finish the second part video off, so you actually get the two parts this week. Yeah, and we'll hopefully go on another stealth camp or wild camp towards the end of the week. We'll see about that. But yeah, thanks for this little journey, and Mr. Sunderland, you know, you got me thinking about this idea. You know, I'm not, as I said before, I'm not going to be buying stoves. I don't necessarily need a little wooden stove. You just gave me the idea to just go and make up my own. You get all these fold-up ones. You know, people on YouTube have built their own. Nothing to what I'm doing here. I think this is a one-off here. I think this is a one-off. Might not be as strong as some others, but I think the idea is there. I think it's coming along fine. I'll see why the end product. Might even give it a splash of paint. So keep it tuned, and watch out for that second video. So you've been watching the Cheap as Chips camping channel. Let's join up again for the second part video, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for them subscribers that are watching. Obviously the Tarpon Talk video, that didn't do as well as the stealth camp, but I think from the views that I got, that at least my subs are actually watching it by the count. So I'm assuming all my subscribers actually watch that video, and not anybody who's just coming in and just spotted the title. So thank you for subbing. It's nice to see you again. Love them comments. Keep it with the comments. Keep bringing them in to me. Like to be asked questions. Don't know much about what I'm talking about half the time, but if I can try and answer, I'll try and answer. And in this respect, I didn't speak to Mr. Sutherland, but thanks for the comment, because you provided me with this, and this is why I didn't answer you. I do tend to answer or like you or heart you, but I wanted to leave Mr. Sutherland out, because this was just for you, mate. Keep it real, keep it cheap as chips, don't spend too much, economy's bad, keep it cheap as chips. Ta-ra for a bit. So, out of this, come barbecue. Yeah, try that again. Get on chopping this up here. Loose fitting. Actually, I wonder if I pop that off. Oh, well, there you go. So, instead of stupidly cutting them off, I could have just pulled the bloody thing off. Fair enough. Have some Cheap as Chips. Some, not some. I have a Cheap as Chips mic, which Right, let's get back to it. So, not quite safety glasses, but glasses off now. That's not good, is it? You might think I've been gone a while. Oh, Dave, where have you been? I've been out in my backyard making a stove out of a tin. Just be patient, I know I'll break a heart or two. I won't be gone very long, I'll be back soon with part 2.